Hi there, I'm Daniel and this is Vegan and Sons. And today I wanted to ask the question, should celebrities be permitted to promote unhealthy products? So today's topic, it'll be short and sweet. I wanted to ask the question, should celebrities be permitted to promote goods that aren't healthy for us, basically? And today I'm talking about dairy. So I'm from Christchurch, New Zealand, and recently our local, when I say local, New Zealand's main provider of milk and dairy products throughout New Zealand, they completed a campaign of promoting milk in primary schools. Basically, they were giving it away in primary schools, and that is typically years 1 to 6. They did this campaign headed by a former All Black, arguably one of the best in the world, and probably one of the most well-known All Blacks to ever live. So you might ask, what is the problem with that? What was the problem with this well-known celebrity to promote milk into our primary schools? A lot of people say, but milk is good for you. Calcium is good for your bones. It makes them strong, and that's good, and that's important for a growing child to have that in their body to make their bones strong. So I just want to go back a little bit first of all before I answer that question. So let's go back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, and parts of the 90s even, when sports stars were used to promote smoking. I wonder if they ever thought of their legacy, and I wonder if any of them still smoke, and if they do, I wonder if any of them are still alive. My point really is this: smoking was proven to be harmful long before it became mainstream, long before it became a mainstream norm in society to ban advertising and the promotion by sports clubs and celebrities alike. But now here we are in 2018, smoking is on its way out, and in New Zealand, we want to be the first smoke-free country in the world, and we want to achieve that by 2025, and that is an amazing transformation from a cultural norm or tradition of smoking for hundreds of years, and we want to get rid of it. That's a win in anyone's eyes. But coming back to dairy products, we've known for decades the scientific proof behind dairy, similar to that of smoking, from excellent doctors and nutritionists all over the world. Hundreds of studies and hundreds of peer-reviewed studies have been reviewed showing disturbing facts about human consumption and the effects that dairy has on humans. A good example, Dr. Eccleston, who carried out a landmark clinical study on how to prevent heart disease. Dr. T. Colin Campbell, who followed thousands of individuals for 2 years in the 80s, studying the effects of plant-based eating versus animal-based foods, publishing his results in the critically acclaimed China study released in 2005. This study still being one of the largest of its kind. And more recently, Dr. Michael Greger, who wrote the international bestseller How Not to Die, who also operates a not-for-profit website, nutritionfacts.org, have all come to the same conclusion and state that the consumption of dairy products directly related to the weakening of human bones and dramatically increases your chances of osteoporosis. Just take that in for a minute. We've been told our entire lives that calcium is good for you. It makes your bones strong. Why are these world-renowned doctors now saying the opposite? They can't not say that because the studies have shown that. So many studies over so many decades are saying the same thing over and over and over again. There are even more disturbing effects for humans who consume dairy products, but I wanted to point this out in particular because of the lie that we've been told our entire lives by these industries around the world. Yes, milk has calcium, but it also has hormones, strong enough hormones and a strong enough growth formula for a calf to grow into a full-grown cow within a short period of time. Governments around the world allow milk producers to have a certain amount of pus and blood in their milk that humans will consume, along with those hormones. The real problem with dairy is that it's so acidic. Humans are an alkaline being. So when we ingest that dairy product, the body wants to get rid of that acidity. And it does that by leaching phosphate from your bones. And therefore makes them weaker. And that's why there is a direct correlation in every single country around the world that consumes a high amount of dairy. They have a higher rate of osteoporosis and bone fractures. Go figure. See, we have been duped into thinking it's safe to consume dairy because it's been a societal norm for so long, as was smoking. And this happened long before they had the proof. By the time we had the proof, it was too late for many. So this is my point. Maybe our former All Black, who I absolutely respect, probably doesn't know this information either. Why would he? And if he did, I'm sure he wouldn't wish harm upon anyone. But if you're watching this, and you're a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, brother, sister, don't let yourselves, or your family, or friends be poisoned anymore. And if your children had this information, and understood the implications of what could happen later in life, and you gave them the choice of a dozen other milks that they could have over one milk that causes these problems, I think you'd be surprised in their choice. They would choose the safer option. It also begs the question, why are we weaned off our mother's milk to then be put on to another species' milk? It doesn't make sense. Nature didn't intend it to be that way. A cow's milk is to grow a baby calf into a cow. So I leave you with this. If you were a former All Black, or any celebrity around the world, and were asked to promote a product, would you first research that product and make sure you and your legacy was safe before you put your name to that product? Or is that where you want your legacy to lie? Or is that where you want your legacy to be? Or is that what you want people to remember you for? Or is that the legacy you want people to remember you for? Thanks for watching. I'm Daniel, and this is Vegan and Sons.